Retire by Investing. This is RC coming at you with another comprehensive market review, and today we'll be starting with the VIX. Currently, right now, we are on the teeter of the 200 SMA area of support and basically the range of the 50. We rejected pretty much this prior level right here, which we had three bars. So this was like pretty much a base going to like the 20 SMA right here in this area. But because we rejected that area and then are closing a little bit lower, I would say that volatility is most likely going to start going down. However, just be aware that anything can happen at this point, but this is a really good thing for swing traders. So if you are getting long or seeing setups, this is pretty much where you want to be. But at the same time, just know that the market as an overall has been trying to kind of digest this move for some time. And you'll see that in the next coming indexes that I'm going to talk about. So for the SPY right now, we're at all-time highs, which is a really, really good thing. This is kind of led by the semiconductors, which I know for a fact that they are pretty much really overextended at this point. However, the market can still go higher. Once you break all-time highs, there's no more resistance at this area. And there's a lot of evidence to prove that, just because of the fact that majority of stocks that are not tech related or semiconductor related are doing a lot of digestion during this time. So my thoughts right now is that SPY is pretty much either going to keep base going higher or keep basing sideways. This is really one of those things. But now that we haven't hit an all-time high, I would say just being long in general is the consensus of what you want to do in the longer term picture, just because we're above moving averages. A lot of people, I'm not sure, have changed tune, but definitely for myself and other people that I've talked to, it's important to not fight price. You will lose a lot of arguments with price, and as long as price is going up, I mean, it doesn't matter what the volume is at this point. Really is what it has to do is it's about price. So just be aware of that. When it comes to RSP, I've talked about this before, or last week, we would hit possibly resistance here at the very top here. And we are actually basing at the 10 SMA, which is really, really important. Now, there's a little base here, like a 2-day base, in which we have it broke above. And that's actually significant, just because if we were to break down even more, I know we tested the 10 SMA here, but on Friday, getting above that, and then coming into Monday, if we break above this 203, hit again to the 205 range, and then eventually break out, that would be the best scenario for the RSP, which means that the SPY would continue to trend higher at this point. However, if it does decide to go base sideways, that would be fine as well. As long as we're not going below moving averages, then the market is still risk on, in my opinion. And I would tell anyone at this point, like, yeah, keep going into the market. This is pretty much where you want to be. As far as the Qs, basically all-time highs, which is really, really nice. Now we have pretty much broken out, and I think this is definitely going to lead higher. Some basing would be amazing here, especially if it just consolidates to the right, builds a flag, and goes up. That would probably be the best case scenario, but there's no reason not to be long, in my opinion, just because of the fact that this is the fastest to all-time high that I've ever seen in my life. This is one of those things where, like, you just can't be on the sidelines anymore. You really have to get involved in whatever way. But at the same time, if you're trading, you definitely want to be managing your risk along the way, just because as you go higher, as you buy higher, there's a little bit more risk, especially if the indexes are a little bit extended. But hey, if the setups are working, the setups are working. When it comes to QQQE, basically came up, broke all-time highs for QQQE, which is amazing. At the same time, over here, we have retested and then kind of like got back to this range. Now, this can go either way, right? Because we retested here at the all-time high, this can either keep going sideways here, or just if it breaks above, right? If it breaks above this 107.50 area, I mean, pretty much will probably go higher at this point. But just be aware that there's a little bit of rotation in the QQQs, E. Just know that there's a lot of rotation happening in the tech sector right now, in general. But what's leading is definitely semiconductors. So just be very aware of that. With the MDY, same thing. We had a break of all-time highs, retest, and now we are bracing. The same thing is happening with the mid caps. A break above 668 will probably lead higher at this point, which is really nice. Now that we're at all-time highs or basing in near all-time highs, this is something to look at in general. With the IWM, we have like a pretty big base here. Let's look at 1, 2, 3. This is 6 bar base, which is really, really important. We have been digesting in the smaller caps, which is amazing. Now, the smaller caps in general, for most people that don't know, they are I think 300 million to 2 billion when it comes to market cap. And if it gets explosive, you will see a lot of runners, a lot of multi-day runners, a lot of like 50 to 60% moves in a lot of these stocks. Not saying that you should buy all of them because they are very, very volatile. And if you don't have really good risk management, you will get chopped up. But in general, with the IWN being in this area and setting up for this move, if we do get above the 278 area, you expect an explosive move upwards, in my opinion. So that's all I have for you guys for today. You guys take care. Peace.